Welcome live to my show here on this Thursday, the 21st of April 2022. We are joined by a returning person for the first time in 2 years. It's been so long. When I look back on my video, thinking, wow, it's been 2 years already. It's just mind-blowing. Yeah, people I've had on the show since 2020 to 2021 and now in 2022. And I thought, well, we must have this person back on because it was enjoyable. And we learned a lot of things about this particular person. So I don't really know what to call you. So hopefully this will be okay to call you. Okay, so here we go. Let's give it a try, shall we? So please welcome wrestling personality, broadcaster, interviewer, and the host of, I would say, After 83 Weeks as well, which is available on many different platforms with Eric Bischoff, who was on this show last year. Please welcome back to the show for the first time since 2020, Christy Olson. How are you on this day?
Hey, Edward, thank you so much. I am great. That was fantastic. I am all of those things.
Yes, you
so
are.
You nailed it. That works for me.
Great.
Yeah, and it's great to be back here. We did have such a great chat last time. And you do all the cool things. You have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And, I'm a producer too. So I love to see what you've got going on. Congratulations on all the great guests and everything you've had in the last couple of years.
Thank you very much. And I hope you get to enjoy that intro, which you saw at the start of the show, because it just showed you a little bit of the people we've had on the show over the past few years. And of course, Wush Freeman, who's also been on, I think, is here today as well. She says she's cute on the YouTube channel. If you have any questions for Christy, then leave them in the live channel and I will answer them, of course. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Wush tuned in to our last chat a few years ago, because that name does ring a bell to me on this channel. So there you go. So thank you for tuning in, as always. As you say...
You know what, Edward? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want this to look really great. So I'm going to make a little switch here on my internet, and I hope that I'll still be here with you.
Okay.
Stand by.
No worries. While Christy's doing that, we've got a good plug we can plug up. So this coming Sunday, which I got announced just last night, I have got the bare knuckle fighting ring announcer on the show called Big Mo. He's on the show at this time on Sunday, so I hope you can tune in for that with the bare knuckle fighter ring announcer. He's going to come into the UK in October, by the way, for the big pay-per-view event for the first time ever. So that's going to be very cool to see him in the UK. But we discuss more about that on Sunday. But back with my guest, Christy Olson. Are you still there?
I am here. I hope I look a little better now. That guy you've got upcoming, what a sharp dresser he is.
I know, exactly. And I like his sunglasses, yes. Wush Freeman, yes, I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it was you or not, because I wasn't sure if it was somebody Christy knew or not. But yes, I remember. So yes, Wush Freeman was on my channel last year as well, from the National Wrestling Alliance, and I hope you're doing very well. Nice to see you in this YouTube chat for the first time. For a long time, so it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, and hope things are doing good for you. I believe you moved recently from when we last chatted from Georgia, so I hope things are going well for you there. But yeah, so you're back in Las Vegas. You recently moved from Los Angeles. Last time we chatted, you were in Los Angeles. My background was Las Vegas, and funny enough, you loved it so much. You loved my image so much, and you thought, why not move to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I always thought that I would live in LA for the rest of my life. I love Los Angeles, but you were onto something with Vegas. As you said, there were a lot of things that have changed about LA in the last couple of years, and I really wanted to give Vegas a shot. We love it here, and I'm in a great neighborhood. Me and my husband moved into a beautiful new place here, so I couldn't be happier. And then I will be spending quite a bit of time on the farm in Minnesota as well in the spring for planting season, where my husband will be working. So I'm lucky that I get to do stuff like this, virtually, and I can connect with anybody no matter where I'm at.
Yes, yes. Cool. And I know I could be wrong, because last time we chatted as well, you didn't do many of these kind of interviews. So it's nice of you to have you on this show as often as we can get you, because I know you're a very busy person with, again, moving around the country, doing great things, helping people out, either your family or your local communities and whatnot. So it's quite to see that, and hopefully the weather in Minnesota will be getting better
Oh, I have my fingers crossed. I grew up there, so you'd think I would be used to it.
Mm,
But it snowed on Sunday, on Easter Sunday, and we were not expecting that. By this
wow.
time of year, it's usually starting, like spring has sprung
Yeah.
by now, and I'm just so over it. We were there for a long time in December and January as well, and it was just bitter cold. I just don't. I like the sunshine. I like to work out outside. It's just not the most convenient thing.
No, no, and I was quite surprised because I saw somewhere because we get now NBC News over here because when we last chatted we had CNN that went off the air because you have paid to get that now, so they took off the air, and then recently we just got NBC airing over here, NBC News today on NBC News now, and I saw in the weather forecast that there was some snow heading in some parts of the year. I'm thinking, wow, that's quite shocking because usually at this time of the year it's usually really hot or it's about to come hot over there. So I was quite surprised to see snow on the forecast.
Yeah, well, you and I both, and I, as usual, is not prepared for it with my wardrobe. So,
Mm. I bet you had to go a bit to a local store to pick up some colder outfits for the climate.
uh, it's more usually like going to my mom's house and grabbing stuff that I wore in high school, like
Gotcha.
a million years ago. So, yeah, I'm definitely rocking my old coat from high school, but that's okay. It's still cute. It works. It's vintage now.
Yes, vintage, or even as I say as well, in the fashion, as well. Sometimes things come back into the fashion, whatnot. So you said you moved to Las Vegas from Los Angeles. I read a thing last year saying that a lot of people have fled Los Angeles. I don't blame anybody who has left LA. But how are things in Las Vegas at the moment? Are you enjoying life there? And what's the differences from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, would you say?
Well, the reason why I wanted to move to Vegas over anywhere else in the country is because it is so similar to LA, or at least all the things that I love about LA, you still have here. There's a lot of celebrity events going on that I can cover with my work and a lot of fun stuff to go do. I can get vegan food delivered 24 hours a day, all those kinds of things that, I took for granted in LA. I wanted to make sure I still had a great place to work out outside where I could go hiking. I used to love Runyon in LA,
Yes.
and now we have Red Rock Canyon here.
Oh,
So
cool.
it really, there aren't, I'm not embracing the differences. There are plenty of those too, but it really to me is about what's exactly the same as LA. And I'm kind of still doing the tourist thing here. I went to Carrie Underwood's residency down on the strip and have explored all Caesar's Palace and all those kinds of places, went to all the touristy restaurants and kind of still enjoying those things. So it's just so much fun.
If anybody's going to be visiting Las Vegas anytime soon, where would be the number one place to go first for tourism wise in Las Vegas? Would you say?
Oh, I think you have to go to the Strat, which is the tallest place in all of Vegas. And there's a restaurant at the top that rotates so you can eat
Oh wow!
beautiful dining experience there and just watch the whole city. Every 80 minutes, it does a full rotation. So
Wow!
it's a great way to see everything in the mountains. It's gorgeous there. They have rides. It's right, on the strip where there's a ton of other things to do. So that would be my suggestion. That's the thing that I've enjoyed the most so
Yeah.
far.
Well, thank you for that great pick, and hopefully somebody out there who is heading to Las Vegas, maybe the next few months, or maybe they might see us in 10 years. I might be going there. Will hopefully visit that restaurant and check it out, the great view. But when it does spin around, I'm just curious. Is it quite a slow turn, or is it quite a fast turn, or is it quite speedy, or is it quite a slow speed? You mean taking all, take it
You
all
can
in?
you can barely tell that it's moving,
Gotcha.
because it is quite big to go all the way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's slow. It's not like you feel like you're on like a tilt-a-whirl while you're trying to eat your salad. you know, everybody's still waiters are still walking around with their trays and all that. So it's tame, but it goes around just enough for you to see everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and the nightlife and of course daytime life of Las Vegas as well, which is great to see. So I saw this. I don't know how long ago this was posted on your social media. This might be years ago, it might be recently. I can't remember what date it was, but you recently, I think, went to the border, didn't you? Is that something we might be seeing from you this year to do with possible footage from the border? Because I know it's one of your passions, which I read on ahead of today.
Yeah, that is something that's always on my radar. When I went last time, it was in February of 2020, right before all the COVID stuff hit.
Hmm.
So I was very blessed to be able to still have that experience. However, the happenings of all that in the last couple of years has really changed that situation for the worse. And so I really, it's something I'm always supporting from afar, doing what I can do, but really to go there and see what's really going on, I think is the most beneficial, and to be able to share with others what's really going on. So I do hope to be able to go again. And now that I've been able to share my experience with some friends, I have people who I know want to come along too, and really see for themselves and see what they can do to help. So yeah, that's something that is always on my radar. I'm not a very political person, but
No,
I am
you're usually discussing reality shows, and of course,
exactly.
I should mention that you're also a YouTuber. I should mention as well from that opening. I should have mentioned that earlier, but yeah, you're also a YouTuber. Please do plug your YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they can actually see a video about some of my travels and stuff there on Christy Reports. But so that's part of the reason, some of what I experienced there really changed how I look at what I'm going to be creating for content wise. Once you can only talk about Mama June so much. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. No, I get you. It's something different, and it's very passionate as well, and it's got a good cause to raise awareness. So I hope you get to go back to the border again soon and get to interview hopefully some more great people in that area.
Yes, I do too.
So we were talking on the email, and you mentioned to me some projects you're working on over this year. I'm guessing it's for your YouTube channel. Can you give us any teasers of what they could be? Any maybe even some celebrity interviews, maybe with some of the shows you've discussed? Because I've seen that you get a lot of good followers from shows you've discussed previously for AfterBuzz TV, and of course on your own official YouTube channel, Christy Reports, that you just mentioned there.
Yeah. And so, like I mentioned, I've kind of evolved, the way that I cover all of that. I find that I really just want to focus on things that are positive.
Hmm.
And there is a lot of that in the reality world, and with celebrities too. And you can do interviews with people that highlight things that they're passionate about, as opposed to a lot of gossip things or things that bring other people down. But the culmination of all that for me is good news. So positive, hard news stories, not necessarily entertainment stuff, but just things that people are doing for each other
Yeah.
that are good out there in the world. Stories about puppies. I want to kind of create a video that people can go to each day after they are tired of seeing what's going on in the world. I think we need a little escape from that, so that we can continue to be there for people and support people and be empathetic. We need a little break. So to me, creating content that is putting good news stories out there is at the top of my list. That's one of my new series that's coming. And I find that I still love reality TV, and I do miss talking about it. So instead of, I think, really diving into people's personal lives in current time, I think it would really be more fun to look back at some of the shows we love. People love trivia.
Oh yeah.
And love to kind of revisit some of the classic storylines from shows like 90 Day Fiance, where I covered the news every single day. There's so much to look at with that franchise. There's a million spinoffs now, and they've had so many folks on the cast that there's a lot of fun things I can do with that's positive for people, and that doesn't encourage anyone to leave negative comments. So that's just really where I'm at. And a lot of that is just about ready to go. So very soon.
I look forward to seeing the teasers posted on your social media to get us all to tune in. I'll be tuning in for definitely on Christy Reports' YouTube channel. And again, you can find, as I mentioned as well, we'll be plugging your social media on the screen throughout the show. So you can see right now, you can find Christy on Facebook at Christy Reports. You can also find her on Twitter at Christy Reports, and of course on Instagram as well, Christy Reports. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. She keeps it simple. Unlike myself, where we change it up a little bit on two of the platforms. Because I've actually branched out, because when we last chatted, I was only on Twitter. I'm now on the Facebook and also on the Instagram. So we've
Man, we
we've
gotta
branched out.
do it all.
We
It's such a
do.
double-edged sword. I have to be, I would be lying if I said I was someone who really enjoyed social media.
Yes.
But then there are so many aspects of it that can be fun and where you
Mm,
can connect with people on a level that brings joy and that, brings positivity and not just everyone kind of spewing negative opinions. I try
mm.
so hard to stay away from that stuff. So social media is hard, but I think that's the case sort of for everyone. And we're all figuring out how much to let it into our
Yeah.
lives, right? What is that filter? And for people like you and I, it's also a very valuable tool to get what we love creating out there for
Mm.
people. So I have to be honest, I don't have the social media world figured out yet, but I
Well,
don't
you
know that
do
I ever
quite well
will.
for yourself, I think, on the social media. You've got a massive following on Twitter. You've got a good following on Facebook and Instagram as well, way more than I'm getting. So you're doing something right. And I don't really get any of the negative comments. It's like this probably my Twitter account. I just see stuff I follow, so I see stuff from you. I even saw a post from the 83 weeks Twitter account yesterday, celebrating Garrett Bischoff's birthday. Funny thing was, I did not have a clue he was following me on Twitter. Okay, with all this
Oh,
time, I never got notified that he was following me on Twitter. So I went to his profile to see, because I didn't recognize the tag. It wasn't actually Garrett Bischoff. It was like his other name, whatever he wanted to use. So I went on to it,
right.
and it said he had 10,000 followers, and he was following me, but I wasn't following him back because I never got a notification. So I followed him back, and I wished him a happy birthday. I have asked to be interested to come on my show or not, so we'll see if I get a response for that, but we'll see. But yeah, surprising. I don't know why. Sometimes I do get notifications, sometimes I don't. It's a bit annoying, but sometimes it's I miss out on some good things.
Well, yeah, and it's great to hear that you connected with Garrett. It seems to me that the few times he's chimed in on After 83 Weeks or anywhere, that he really enjoys talking about his experience in TNA and when he got
Yes.
in the ring. And even this week on 83 Weeks, Eric was sort of covering that period of time on TNA where he and Garrett were having matches. And I think there's a lot to be said there. So few people, can you imagine having that life experience where you're in a storyline with your dad on TV and the kinds of things they were saying to each other. I just think it's really, I get a kick out of hearing them kind of look back at all of that now, because what a unique experience.
It is, and think about this as well. It was like 10 years ago when it was happening, wasn't it? As well, so it's mind blowing how 10 years it just gone in a matter of like that. It's shocking because I remember watching that on TV every week on Challenge TV over here, which mostly showed game shows, vintage game shows, but for some peculiar reason they had TNA wrestling on every Sunday night, I think it was. Over here, so yeah,
Wow.
it was quite good to see that unfolding, and of course when they had Hulk Hogan and the beginning of the 8 storyline as well, mind blowing things, and it's interesting. It's been 10 years, makes us all feel a bit older, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, and TNA, we it gets a bad rep here and there, right? But
Yes,
there were a good amount of people watching it
yes.
back then, and they had some really big name stars, and we're reminded of that when we look back at it a little bit, because otherwise it's so overlooked.
Exactly, and it's a shame that you weren't around, to be a part of TNA because I think you were fit in perfectly.
Oh, it's so much fun because that was the period of time where people could get involved. And even like I some of my favorite backstage interviews are with Christy Hemme
Oh
when
yeah,
she really got involved in things. And I know Lillian Garcia as well in the WWF
yes,
days when they
yes.
could really get involved in the storyline. Man, that would have been so much fun.
Speaking of Leon Garcia, have you been keeping in contact with her recently with what she's doing with the with ESPN? She's doing some great things over there, isn't she?
Yes, I always sort of keep abreast of, what she's putting out there and everything. I love her content because she just spreads so much positivity. She's a great example, in what I'm saying, of people who really put things out there that put a smile on people's face
Mm,
and is exactly what we need right now.
most definitely, I agree
So
with you
yeah,
there.
I'm just, yeah, always so happy to see her doing her thing.
Because
She's never going to stop. She's one
no,
of those people.
And she hasn't, and she never ages either. It doesn't. When I googled her on the internet and it said what her age was, I'm thinking, wow, really? Because she doesn't look any different than she did like 20 years ago when I first saw her on Monday Night War. Because think about it, because I remember. Well, I don't remember, but I mean, she debuted a few months after I was born. So really,
Oh, wow.
for the first, 10, 15 years, it was always been her on TV. So it's like the same voice, never gets old.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah, and she still looks great. And I think the cool thing about her is those relationships that she's developed with the wrestlers and people in the wrestling community, so she can do these great interviews. And she's goals. Yeah, I gotcha.
okay, you can hear me. Let's just make sure I can hear me. We had some issues. I clicked a button or something, and it said I got this pop-up saying, "Oh, nobody can hear me."
The
Sorry about
danger of
that.
going live, Edward.
It is going live, but there you
Anything
go.
can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. It's a like, once, I think it was last year, I was on the show live with somebody, and I thought my guest lost connection, right? But actually, I lost the internet connection. So we actually cut the interview. It just happened to finish on a sentence I was saying. So I didn't do a proper goodbye. So it was quite a damper, because I really enjoyed the person I had on the show at the time. But yeah. Something that's the only time that's happened, by the way, in the 3 years I've been doing this live.
You know what? And we have to remind ourselves too, because I just hate when those little technical things happen. But like big shows have those sorts of problems too. When they're broadcasting live or when they have guests come in virtually, like they have issues too. So,
Yes.
it's not just us little guys.
No, I get that. And is there any chance we might see you back on TV or on other YouTube videos anytime soon, doing any broadcasting or anything like that?
Yeah, I was doing some work with ad-free shows for a while, hosting some of their Q&As. They love to bring in big top stars of wrestling and let their subscribers talk to them directly and ask questions and stuff, and that's really cool. Now that I'm back here in Vegas, there wasn't a ton of red carpet celeb events that had gotten going again in LA yet, but it's happening here in Vegas.
Good.
So I'm hoping to get back out on those red carpets and talk to some of the stars that are here visiting. We just had the Grammys here. I just missed it.
Oh, no.
But they're holding a lot of big events here now. So I can go kind of right back to what I was doing before, which it thrills me so much, makes me so excited.
Who are you looking forward to hopefully getting to meet on the red carpet or getting to do a Q&A for then? And anybody you want to check off your list?
Well, there's a lot of UFC, MMA fighters that are out here. And I think most of them, they seem to just have really interesting stories. So anytime I can run into those people, I always love chatting with them. Also, Jake and Logan Paul are such huge stars in both the wrestling world and in the world of fight sports. And they're not just doing it themselves, but also, Jake is running a show now. He's featuring women at Madison Square Garden. And I think I could get into some things with them that the mainstream media doesn't always get to. So I would love a few moments with one of them on the red carpet. And, always my reality stars too.
Yes.
Lisa Vanderpump just opened another new restaurant here in Vegas. She has two now, and I saw her there when I was there last time. I'm having dinner. So, I got to catch up with all those folks too and see what they've been up to for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I know I could be wrong, but you've probably not seen them in person for a long time, or maybe never before. So it'd be glad to see me meet him in person for the first time, or we connect and have a bit of a reunion type things.
Yeah, everybody's excited to be back out there and to be going to events and be doing publicity again. And it's just this kind of an exciting energy in the world of entertainment right now, and in wrestling, of course. It's the same everywhere. There's a lot of opportunities for people right now if you can kind of pivot from what we've always done before.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I agree with you, because I saw that yesterday or the day before, they recently announced in on flights around the US. You don't have to wear masks on airplanes again now, so I bet people are very excited about as well.
Oh my gosh, we were rejoicing. So yesterday, this was right after this happened that I flew in back here to Vegas yesterday, and that was the first time I've not worn a mask on a plane in 2 years.
Wow.
And I can't tell you how overjoyed people were. You know, I think it's not just the passengers, but the staff as well.
Yes.
I can't imagine having to wear the mask, you know, all the time while they were working and stuff. I think it just makes it easier for everyone to communicate. And I don't envy, you know, all those airport workers who had to deal with folks who were not happy about wearing their masks, and this just makes life easier for them. So yes, it was very enjoyable to sit on the plane yesterday and not have to pretend like you're eating or drinking the whole time to justify having the mask down.
And
Is that
actually
terrible?
get
I don't do that, I
to
promise.
you know, and breathe in the natural air around you again as well. Mrs. I bet was very good.
Yes, yes, and I feel safe, and I get that a lot of other people do. I think there's a feeling that people generally feel safe, so that's important as well.
Oh yeah, and if they don't feel safe as of yet, then I'm sure that will come back to them with time as well. So
Yeah.
it depends, doesn't it? Because like over here, we've been, you know, let's say mask free since, let's say, you know, December, and when they brought in Plan B for shops and whatnot, and then they quickly scrapped that around March, I think it was. But I mean, you know, we been mask free for ages now, so it feels great to, you know, just go to shops, you know, and not have to wear a mask inside a shop. Many people still do. That's their opinion, of course, but it's just great having that personal choice kind of thing now.
Yes, yeah, and breathing in the fresh air, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, this is great. You know, back to some kind of norm, you know. So it's good, isn't
Yes.
it? I have to say.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, we mentioned about these great events you are hopefully going to be going to and actually be a part of, which we can't wait to see. I'm guessing you'll be publishing that kind of information when it happens, when it gets announced on your social medias. I mean, people can tune into wherever it be uploaded to, either your YouTube channel or the
Yeah.
people you may be working for, because you're kind of like a freelancer, I say.
Yeah, but you know, I really like creating my own stuff under my own umbrella
Yeah.
with my name on it. I like asking my own questions. I like not being told what to wear.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'm really good being in my own space, and just I'm really grateful for YouTube. And what, you know, when I started doing YouTube a million years ago, it wasn't really much of anything. And
Gotcha.
I'm grateful that it's still there and that you can make money there. You
Yeah.
know, that's a huge opportunity for a lot of people. So I'm happy to have my own outlet that has my name on it. And, you know, I'm always open to working with others as well. But I find that I just really am most passionate about doing every aspect of things myself as well. You know, I love to create graphics and videos and book my own guests and, you know, write my own interview questions, do my own research. I enjoy all of that. So yeah, you'll be seeing everything on the Christy Reports YouTube channel because that's where I'm happy to have it live.
Yeah, no, don't blame you, and it can live there for hopefully years and years to come.
Yes.
To reflect on some of the biggest moments on YouTube, hopefully on the Christy Olson's YouTube channel. And I'm guessing you when you book your guests, I'm guessing you use like for instance, for over here we can use IDMB Pro, which gives you access to like people agencies and different people to get in contact with to try and get them on you know, your show or my show or wherever else kind of, which is quite good, I guess. And you know, because sometimes you get loads of different emails that pop up under that option. It's like, which one do you email? Sometimes they don't have the normal email to reach out to, and then you're thinking, well, who do you reach out instead?
Yeah, sometimes you have to do a little sleuthing
Yeah.
and really find you know, maybe somewhere where they've tagged their manager or their publicist. IMDb Pro is a great one, but you know, nowadays even that's something that's changed. I used to use that every day for every guest, and now it's like I go straight to someone's social media and say, who are they asking me to contact? You know, who are they saying, here's my person who books interviews or who books appearances, or sometimes I'll say, hey, this is only for these kind of bookings.
Gotcha.
You know, so yeah, we have to get good at that, right? But
Yeah.
people have become so much more open too. You know, it's like, book me.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it as well, because I kind of booked Mike Goldberg to come on this show, but then we had some issues with his travel because he was traveling along, so he couldn't make the show. But we are, we figuring it out, and I should have announced it next week. But yeah, Mike Goldberg should be coming on the show very soon. The legendary voice of the Octagon in both the UFC and the Bellator. He works for the BYB. They're doing big moves as well now. They're in the bare knuckle fighting world to get them, on a global stage as like the UFC is and such like that, which is great to see. And hopefully you get to check out an event of theirs or so if they come to Las Vegas. They might be coming to Las Vegas soon. I know they're going to Florida and I think New York as well, I think soon. And then they're coming to the UK later this year.
Yeah, all the and like what Josh Barnett is doing with Bloodsport as well. That really seems to be kind of the next big trend, right? Of something that we're going to see a little branch of pro wrestling, some guys and gals kind of go that way a little bit. And with Paige Van Zandt having recently signed to AEW, WWE has no short of former MMA stars either on their roster. So that's not something that I think is going away. That's just going to keep growing. And those people will always have that legitimacy, right, to fans, where I think pro wrestling and fight sports are going to continue to just make money together.
Yeah, this is great to see, isn't it? Because it is a crossover, more so for the MMA fighters crossing over to wrestling than wrestling stars crossing over to MMA. It's worked with a few guys who's been able to do the both which way they've gone. Like Brock Lesnar, Ken Shamrock, I think even Steve Blackman as well. Back in those days, a bit harder for a bit like CM Punk, who found it a bit harder to do so, but it can be done. But it's not impossible. I'm still waiting for when you get announced to be a part of a big wrestling company again. I thought when AEW launched, I thought it's going to be a matter of weeks or months. After when Eric Bischoff first began to appear on there, so I thought, maybe he would speak to Tony Khan to get you booked on AEW. But I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job with the people they're using. But I'm still waiting to see when you appear on UK TV though.
Well, I appreciate that. And, a lot of people say that to me, and I really appreciate that they think that highly of me.
Oh,
and
you
again,
do a very good job.
Thank you. I would embrace any opportunity that comes my way. And I do really miss TVs, TV days, being there, that energy and being behind the scenes. And, wrestlers are just some of the most fascinating people that I've ever had the pleasure of working with in my life. So I just love to be around them and their creative energy and all of that. So I would love to go there and hang out a little bit at AEW. That would be a ton of fun. But I'm also so happy just kind of being on the peripheral, from them and reporting on some of the cool stuff I see going on there. And it's cool for me to just do my own thing too. So I'm open to anything. And I want to be on TV as much as anybody wants to see me on TV.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. And whenever hopefully will happen again, hopefully they will show it here in the UK. We can see you on UK TV. Because I could be wrong. I don't think we've seen you on UK TV before. Outside of course, Double E, of course. But I mean, I don't think we've really seen you on national TV in the UK. If you were on AEW or even on Impact Wrestling or maybe even some reality show which you get to take part in, which is shown over here, that'd be great. Because you say you exercise. You do a lot of great workouts. You could go on Ninja Warrior, for instance.
Oh, you guys do some really fun competition shows over there.
Oh, yes.
I would love to host one. Well, I don't watch a lot of them. What I do is I follow the news of them in the entertainment news. So like, what's the I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
So, because you don't have it, do you?
Good one. No, we don't get it here, but I always read like who survived, who ran out of the forest screaming or whatever it is. So yeah, you guys do some really fun stuff in that regard. And I would love to get involved in some of that.
Yeah, because like I'm a Celebrity, for instance, for the past few years has been in the castle in Wales because of the restrictions. Ooh. It's not been as great for like, tormenting the celebrities as they could do in Australia. I mean, they've had a bit of an easy ride. The first year they were there, everybody got on very good, so it wasn't very much, confident, where most of it, when they were getting people's faces, whatnot. Everyone just got on. This is great, but we like the drama. So last year we got some drama from a few people, so it was great to shake it up for once. But no, we all missing the jungle. The jungle is where the show belongs, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there is rumors that it's going to go back to the jungle this year.
Oh, and you know what? There were, maybe it's been a couple years now, but there were also rumors that they were going to do a celebrity version of Naked and Afraid,
Oh, right.
which is a show we have here where they just put people in the forest with no
Yes.
clothes, no nothing, and watch them survive.
That's
And
on
there were
that's on Discovery. That is, yes.
Yes, yeah. And they were supposedly doing a celebrity version of that, or at least a reality stars one. There was a guy from 90 Day Fiance who was training. He was supposed to be on it. So
Wow.
I wonder whatever happened to that. If we could get that going, I would take that in any country, in any jungle. I want to see that.
Yeah, well again, because that gets shown over on Discovery. I saw the commercial for that. I think it's yesterday, or the day before, which is on Discovery Plus now. So it's a bit of disappointment because I did like it on TV, but yeah, it's not a bad show, and it's been like a Bear Grylls kind of show. Kind of survive on things, isn't it? So it's quite good, and hopefully maybe you get to have Bear Grylls on because he's a popular guy.
Yeah, people really like him. Huh? I remember when I was working for Maria Menounos,
Oh yes, and
booking,
she
booking her
was at
radio
WrestleMania.
show. Yes, of course she was. She still has a great relationship with WWE. She's always hosting the red carpet. And, now it's been, I think, over 10 years since she had her match at WrestleMania.
Wow.
But I remember he was always somebody that we were looking to get on her show as well, because he's got such a unique message,
Yes.
shall we say.
Because the host of I'm a Celebrity, Anton Deck, they have a show called Saturday Night Takeaway. And one of the things they do is they do an undercover pranking other celebrities on the hit list.
Oh,
And they prank.
sort of like Swerve.
Yes. And they got Bear Grylls in this restaurant where nobody could see what was going on. Nobody could see apart from the people who were actors who Anton Deck were controlling. And they were wearing night goggles and whatnot. And they were wearing night goggles, but nobody else, not Bear Grylls, couldn't see what was going on. His wife was in on it, on the prank, but he had no idea. It was quite a funny one. So hopefully it's on YouTube. So if it's on YouTube, it should be on YouTube. So you should check it out. It's quite a funny one.
Oh yeah, I love when they get a spouse involved.
Yeah.
Because the person's never expecting it.
Most definitely.
I think everybody dreams it. They're like, I love my husband or wife, but it would be fun to play a trick on them.
They even done
Like to get up.
they've even done Piers Morgan. They've even done Sam Cowell as well. So because they're two big personalities in America, aren't they, as well?
Yeah. Wow.
I should mention as well, because you mentioned before Maria Menounos. Of course, when we last had you on the show, I tweeted out a clip, and she actually saw it and actually liked the clip. I don't know if she actually responded. I can't remember, but I know she liked the clip we shared on the social media. So at least we know that Maria Menounos does look at her Twitter account and actually view her comments. It's quite good to see.
Yeah, she does. And, she's helped so many people in the hosting world grow their careers and get experience. And, I'm definitely at the top of that list. So I love to know that she sees, when people are really giving her the credit that she deserves.
Because she was right up there and close. Because, when she was hosting Red Carpet, then, the night before, she was at ringside. I think it was for the Cody Rhodes' return match at WrestleMania, because I remember they cut to her and her husband at ringside with her doing like a wow reaction to the action kind of thing. So that's how I knew she was at WrestleMania Night 1 anyway, because I've seen her reaction to a big move right near ringside, and they cut to her like she was what's the word they use, put somebody on the camera on purpose. I can't remember the exact word they used, but hope you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I had fun kind of watching everything, like when you could see her a little in the background because she was just enjoying it so much. I think she was out there for the whole thing that went down with with Stone Cold as well.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I was like, oh my God, Maria's having so much fun. It was really all of Mania. It
Yes.
really was a great Mania this year. You know, I can't say that I every year have sat down and watched everything start to finish, but this year was really, really exceptional.
Well, because you mentioned Steve Austin, he wrestled his last match 19 years ago. I was 3 at the time, turning 4 that year.
Gosh.
So, so all my memories are either on the, you ever gone to Peacock, or you have to go in the video games to, relive those great Austin era memories. So it's quite good for fans of that age group and new fans who'd probably never seen him wrestle at all, get to see him wrestle for the first time. Maybe not in, in his prime, but it was still a great match. A lot of people didn't expect him to, take a suplex on the concrete, for instance, or even have a long match. And I think it went like 20 or 25 minutes long, didn't it? So that's quite good.
Yeah, and I think it reminded us that let's just take what we can get. We don't have to analyze everything. We don't have to critique everything. Everything doesn't have to be great. The fact that Vince McMahon took the stunner in a way that people were talking about was way more entertaining than if he would have nailed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we just really have to take those moments and appreciate them for the once in a lifetime kind of events that they are, and that's one where people can really just suspend their disbelief and think, oh my God, Stone Cold is back in the ring at Mania with Vince McMahon, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, that was quite a shocking moment because nobody expected Steve Austin to come out on the second night after his very personal match he had in 19 years. We all thought he went home after that, but he stayed. And
we thought he was sitting in an ice tub somewhere.
Yeah, relaxing his muscles, and because he probably not used the muscles for 19 years. But no, he was very active, wasn't he, on both nights? And I must say, because we've had on Shark Boy on this show many times this year, how would you take the stunner? If someone gave you a stunner, how would you think you would sell it?
I like to think that I would know enough at least, to sell it well, even if I didn't take it well. I think someone like Steve Austin can sort of make it look good no matter what happens.
Yeah.
But I think, if you just sell the hell out of it, if you're just dead after that, I mean, I can play dead. That doesn't seem too complicated.
Because I know, because Stacey Keller, I think her name was, who was on SmackDown many years ago, she took a Stone Cold Stunner. I think it was on War. My mistake. I think it was on War when they were giving. He gave her a beer. She started drinking it, and then gave her a stunner. And again with Linda McMahon as well, and Stephanie, always the victims of those Stone Cold Stunners. But I mean, has ever Shark Boy ever popped up on a topic of after 83 weeks yet?
No, no, and we'll be going live with Eric tonight. Maybe we have to. Maybe we have to bring him up. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you should. You should bring him up. Yeah, because I know he was there. He wasn't on the active roster, let's say, but he did make a few appearances. I think in the Eric Bischoff era when he was there. I know he made like 1 or 2 appearances for definitely. I know when Eric Bischoff was there before. He was fired when, of course, his TV exit when he was put in that like a toilet thing, wasn't he?
Yes. Well, I'll have to ask him tonight. We take questions from all the live viewers and everybody, fans in the live chat. So I'll relay that question from you.
Oh, thank you.
If Shark Boy was ever on Eric's radar, or what his thoughts were.
Yeah, I just want to see what he thought of Shark Boy, even if if he remember him working at some shows when he was there, or even doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin impression when he came back from the coma, stuff like that. I just want to see what his takes on it. Again, I don't know what his reaction might be, because again, I've been trying to get him back on the show for ages, but he's not responded to it. I'm guessing he's a very busy man at the moment.
He is, and his time is worth a lot too.
Yes.
He's really, they're doing a lot for ad-free shows, and now he's got
2
live shows. He just Yeah, and even at Mania, he was live on stage with like Jeff Hardy and William
Nice.
Regal and Jeff Jarrett, doing live shows and stuff. So yeah, he's doing the most. I think is that kind of the dream now as my career goes on. It's you're so focused on career success, I think, early in life. And now as I look to the future, I just think I hope that at 60, I'm still doing a lot of cool stuff. Like
Oh,
that's
I'm
the
sure
new
you will.
goal, to
I'm
just
sure
be
you
doing
will.
cool, fun stuff like Eric is when I'm his age. And his wife as well, Lori. I had the pleasure of working with her for quite a
Yes.
while, producing her podcast. And man, she is an expert in her own right, in her own field, and with what she does, she is just fantastic. So, I hope that I'm still loving life as much as those two are when I'm their age.
I'm sure you will be, and I'm sure when you are in your 60s, whenever that might be, hopefully not for another 50 odd years, but we will be looking and seeing what you're doing, and hopefully this show is still here, and hoping that your YouTube channel is still there, because who knows what might come along in within now and whenever you are going to be 60 odd. Hopefully not for a long time yet, because you're in your prime at the moment, and as they say, the world is your ulcer, isn't it? So hopefully we'll see some more great things coming along in the coming months and years. And this and I couldn't ask you this because the last time the restrictions, I thought would be a bit odd to ask you this, so I thought let's do it now since the restrictions have eased. Can we see you in the UK anytime soon?
I don't have current plans to visit the UK, but I am always open to it. I have never been there.
Really? Wow, I'm
And
surprised by that, but yeah.
yeah, I think now, especially as I get kind of some announcing work going again, now that I'm here in Vegas, my next on my list would be to branch out to some international promotions.
Nice.
So it is always a possibility. And you know what? Thank you for reminding me to like put that on my vision board.
No, you're welcome.
Because I think if you don't have it on your radar, if you don't think about it, it definitely won't ever happen, right? I'm kind of one of those people, are a master manifester. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put a visit to Edward on my vision board, and that would just be fabulous. So
It would be. It'd be great to see you in the UK, going to down to a local pub or a local restaurant, get the feel for the vibe of our community and our what's the word? Eric Bischoff put it correct when he came on the show. Get the gist and get the get the local sense of the culture. What's the word he used? I couldn't think of it there, but yeah, the culture of what we like. Instead of just going to the tourist attractions in the area, go to like a local pub as he did and get the culture. Because you never know who you may find in the pub, because there's always somebody who is drunk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I love that. No judgment here. I'll hit a pub at 3. We call that happy hour over here. Maybe that's something I could bring to you guys.
Yes, because we do have an happy hour. Because there's a place I used to go to a few years ago. They did like a happy hour. I think it was like every Thursday. I think it was in this place called Happy Hour at 7 o'clock. But I don't think it's that big though over here. I could be wrong. I don't think it's a big thing as it is in America, where when it's happy hour, it's a meaningful thing. Over here. It's just like it's happy hour, yay! But that's about it, really. Because you guys are more
We're
passionate.
just looking forward to the end of the day over here. We just need work to be done.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say as well, because you guys have some great sports teams in Los Angeles. Did you follow any, and will you continue following them in Las Vegas, or will you now support all the local sports teams in Las Vegas only?
Well, I have to say, I am not probably one of those super loyal fans. I might be kind of a flip-flopper, but I don't go really hard for any teams. I love live sports. I love to go and be a part of, whatever fandom is happening there, and like eat and drink and like yell stuff and be in a stadium. I really enjoy that. But I'm honestly not a huge unscripted sports fan. Like it's like they're not even trying to tell a story. So it just can't keep my attention like pro wrestling can.
That's true.
But I do plan to go see a football game here and check out Allegiant Stadium
Oh,
and
yes. The
and
Las
yeah, I mean,
Vegas
I'll still
Raiders,
go
the
and
best football team in the Las Vegas area. And I should say as well, they've got a new manager now, a new head coach. So hopefully things will
okay.
improve
Okay.
over the next
Fingers crossed.
season or so. And like as well, it's funny thing is because they sacked, the previous manager had to resign because some allegations came out. And then my local football team here in the UK, Manchester United, fired their manager in November. Right, it's interesting. Right, both of the teams I like both had to resign or fire the coach, and now just today they announced the official signing of our new head coach for Manchester United. So hopefully he can make the change and make the team better because we've been quite awful this season.
A new regime.
Yes. But it's quite odd, though, how it was Las Vegas where it happened there first, and then it came over to my football team. I must be a jinx or something. With all the Raiders fans who support the same team as me.
Well, are you just going to get two fresh starts, and
Yeah.
maybe now you're going to be, a fan of the two top teams
Hopefully.
in both of the sports.
Yeah,
in their
hopefully.
respective sports.
Hopefully, but I do hope you get the chance to go to the stadium. From the pictures and videos I've seen, especially from last year's SummerSlam, it looked absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? The great stadium. I don't know how many seats it can hold, but it looks fantastic. They've done a great job on the stadium, so I'm now glad that fans can now attend games there and actually get to see it for its glory.
Yeah, and before I moved from LA, we were able to go to a game there at the new stadium as
Oh,
well, and that was super impressive too.
Did you have
So
good seats?
it's cool. We did, yeah. I can't even remember. I couldn't even tell you which teams exactly were playing, but it was a beautiful day,
Yeah.
and it's just so green there and just so bright and beautiful. And yeah, I really enjoy that. I know here at Allegiant Stadium, I think WWE is doing one of their pay-per-views here
Yes,
upcoming.
I believe
I think
it's
maybe as
Money in
well.
the Bank, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
'Cause I remember
So
the
that'll be
rumor.
fun. They're
Go on.
they're expecting a big crowd, I guess.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Because I know it was previously announced they were going to bring the SummerSlam back, wasn't it? But then they decided to change plans and go with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view instead. Which I thought was a bit of a bummer. Because I would have preferred the SummerSlam being there. Because I thought it was a great event being held in Las Vegas. But oh well. Better than nothing. And even the UK is getting a pay-per-view this year as well for the first time in 30 years.
That's awesome. Are you gonna get a chance to go?
Maybe. Who knows? I might go. But it's in Cardiff,
Oh,
England.
okay.
So that's a bit not too far away. But people who live in London, it's not too far to go. Like 2 hours I think it is on the train from London to Cardiff. So it's not too bad. But it's a bit of a shame that it's not in the new Wembley, because of course when they last in the UK it was in the old Wembley. So because Tyson Fury, he's fighting in Wembley Stadium this weekend.
Oh, wow. I know he's a big deal. I don't know much, but I know he's a big deal.
He is. I'm not a fan of his work. I don't think he's a good boxer, but he is blowing up the world though. With his the way he's been hyping up his fights, the way he's been able to get some convincing
Is he
wins.
cutting promos? Is
Yes.
he doing wrestling things? I love that.
He is indeed. But I should mention as well, because I don't know how long you have, because you're a very busy person and we don't want to keep you for too long here. But what is a day in the life of Christy Olson looks like then on a typical day?
Oh, I'm pretty reliable. I'm a routine person. So I have my get up, drink my juice, drink my tea,
What?
get to the gym, take my vitamins. I'm pretty regimented. So it is
Okay.
kind of the same thing every day. Until
What time
I,
do you get up at? Do you go up really early like Mark Wahlberg does, like I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning? I think he gets up at, or are you a bit more of a sleeping kind of guy?
No, I did the super early mornings when I was a waitress way back in the day. I would open the restaurant at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh wow.
And I am a morning person, but to me that means like 7:30, not
Gotcha.
like 4:30. And my husband, he likes to sleep in. So sometimes I do find myself just laying in bed on my phone for a while until, he and my dog want to get up. But after my routine, I eventually get to the point, where I can sit down on my computer and write some scripts and get to filming or doing whatever live stuff I have, scheduled for that day, and I should really do better about implementing social media. I think that's what it is. I don't have it in my day planned. I should be putting that in there. But and then by early evening, I like to sit down with my husband and my dog, and we're big TV people. Surprise, surprise. I like to get out during the day and maybe do a hike as well if I don't get to the gym instead. So yeah, I honestly don't have a lot of responsibility, and that's by design. I never wanted to be a mom or any of that kind of stuff. So my lifestyle works out pretty well for me.
That's fair. That's fair. But no, it sounds like you have an exciting a day though planned. So it's quite good to see. So again, you say you give about 7 or half 7. I give about I wake up around about 5, 6, 7 o'clock sometimes. Depends when my brain wants to wake up, kind of thing. But I tell you one thing though, last year I did sleep text a person once. I never done it before in my life. Until one day I somehow sleep text some person. Somebody messaged me during the night, and I somehow responded back to him, making no sense at all, by the way. Had nothing to do with actually what they were talking about to me. So luckily they didn't see my message. I was able to remove it the next morning before they saw it. So, but yeah, I'm thinking, because I didn't remember even receiving the message. I was just going through my message and thinking, why did I miss this person at 2 o'clock in the morning? I did not remember this at all. So then I clicked onto it, and it was a little gibberish. Some of it made sense, and then the other half of the sentence was about something about holiday. Hope you have a great holiday. But when I reading the person who messaged me, they talk about nothing about a holiday. So it was like a little rubbish. But I can please to say I've never done it. I've never actually done that again so far. So yeah, it's very bizarre.
Because you could really get yourself in trouble with that.
Yes.
No, I would be.
Yes,
I would be
quite worrying.
I think I'd be scared to go to sleep, or I'd have to put my phone in a lockbox or something.
Most definitely.
Make sure I don't cause any trouble for myself.
I know,
because
you don't know who you may text or even call. It's a bit scary, isn't it? But I'm guessing that's never happened to you.
No. I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I like to think I would wake up if I was texting someone in the night, but who knows? Who knows?
Funny. But yeah, so I just wanted for that there. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if sleep texting a thing or not. I don't know. I'm calling it that. Might not be the right terminology. But there you go. If you have sleep text before, let me know. I would love to know that I'm not on my own in this subject. But there you go.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, it just shows you that I can multitask. I can sleep and text rubbish. But we should mention as well, before we let Christy go, of course, that you can find Christy on Facebook at Christy Reports, on Twitter at Christy Reports, and also on Instagram at Christy Reports. You can also find on youtube.com/Christy Reports as well. Some great new projects coming out in the next few weeks or so. So stick around on her social medias. Make sure to follow her, share it with your friends, and more about Christy Olson, saying that she's the best interviewer, reporter, broadcaster out there. And you can also find her on the 83 Weeks YouTube channel, when it's called the After 83 Weeks. And I believe you're live tonight with that.
Yes, we do that at 5 p.m. Pacific time every Thursday on the 83 Weeks channel. And we have so much fun. Please, if you can, join us live or even catch the show afterward if you can. Eric has no topic off limits, and he always ends up going crazy about something, and we just have so much fun. So I hope people can join us there.
Yes.
Thank you, Edward.
That's at 1 a.m. in the morning, my time, by the way. So quite late in the morning, but it's a way to start your Saturday morning though anyway. But yeah, it's been a pleasure as always, Christy Olson, and I hope you enjoyed your second time on the channel. Hopefully it was as enthusiastic as the first time. And I hope you saw the graphic earlier on as well. Not just your social media, but also my other new graphic I have on the screen saying to subscribe, click the notification bell, means you're notified when the new episode drops as well. I hope you saw that, but if not, hope you catch it soon. Just remember as well, I am back live on Sunday night, same time at 7 p.m. UK time with my next guest, Big Mo, the ring announcer from BYB Bare Knuckle Fighting, will be here. And he has a unique personality because he's the only ring announcer I know who wears sunglasses. If you're surprised by that in the ring.
Wow. I mean, the lights get pretty bright out there.
True.
I don't blame them.
That is true. But I've never seen a ring announcer wearing sunglasses before. So that's something different and something which makes you stand out more, I guess, which is quite different and such. And my final question to you, Christy Olson, is who would you suggest me to contact next to come on the show after you from your great connections who you know?
Oh, there are so many young women that are on my radar now, thanks to AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. And I think that would be a great place to start. I know a lot of those ladies are looking to really get their names out there. Someone like a Willow, Sky Blue. There are some ladies there who are really, I think, going to be hitting it big coming up soon. So I hope that you get a chance to chat with them and kind of get to hear their stories first.
Well, thank you for the great suggestions, Christy. I'll try my very best to get them to come on this show. But yeah, it's been a great show, and I hope you'll come back on again. Hopefully not as far as like 2 years in the making.
Yes, when I get all my new fun stuff rolling, I'll come back and tell you all about it.
Good. Look forward to that. And I hope you keep safe and keep well. And hope you get used to the Las Vegas climate soon. And hopefully when you next go to Minnesota, hopefully it's a bit warmer there than it has been.
Fingers crossed, please.
Fingers crossed indeed. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like it on YouTube. Leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of my chat with Christy Olson. Hope you may have learned something new, maybe. Share the video around. Tell more about my show, The Best Kept Secret on YouTube, with over 178 subscribers. And if you're new around here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell. It means you're notified when the new episode drops, because you never know who may come on the show next. And you can find me on my social medias across the bottom of your screen there as well. There'll be a clip coming out in the next hour or so of this episode from whatever I choose, which is great because sometimes it's very hard to choose what clip to use. So hopefully I'll pick something good to post. But until the next episode drops, enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon or night.